very much. This is the Big 12 on ESPN, and like so many spots around the country, Lubbock, Texas is getting a healthy dose of Mother Nature right now. It is a wintry mix, to say the least, but kudos to the fans, the students, and others who have made their way into the building. They want to see JT Toppin, Christian Anderson, and the Red Raiders take it on one of the very best teams in the nation in the Houston Cougars, led by Kingston Flemings and others. This is a rematch of a game 3 weeks ago, a hard-fought game won by the Cougars on their home court. Two of the best coaches, two of the best programs in the nation collide here today. And we are always a big fan of something's got to give. Dan Shulman and Jay Billis, and it's either the road winning streak of the Houston Cougars, so impressive, 16 in a row, all in the Big 12 play. The Red Raiders have won 11 in a row at home on this court. Let's start with Texas Tech, the dynamic duo of JT Toppin and Christian Anderson.
The only scoring duo in the country, averaging 20 points a game or better, each one of them. And JT Toppin, the dynamic left-hander, is really good around the bucket. He's averaging 23 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 offensive rebounds in Big 12 play. And Christian Anderson is going to see double teams off ball screens. Texas Tech going to slip out of him. How he handles that is going to determine who wins this game.
So a battle on the court, a battle for recruits sometimes, again, between these two programs. And Jay, I don't know how you feel. I don't know that there are two programs in the nation who don't get quite as much attention and publicity as they deserve. Grant McCaslin's got a team that could do a lot of damage deep into March as well.
Well, we saw Texas Tech beat Duke in Madison Square Garden on December 20th. This is a team that has a lot of grit and toughness, and they're going to need every bit of that against this outstanding Houston defense that comes at you with traps and double teams off ball screens, and they will monster double team in the post.
You saw Kelvin Sampson, a better than 800 wins, first-time nominee for the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Grant McCaslin in his third year here in Lubbock. The students have fought their way through the weather into the building, and this should be a great basketball game here this afternoon. Texas Tech, the home team in black. And this is Anderson, better than 20 points, 7 assists per game. Jalen Petty, the freshman who moved into the starting lineup 8 games ago. He had 20 in the game against the Cougars. The left-handed reverse for the left-hander in JT Toppin.
The trap in the post was a little bit slow coming from the high side, and Toppin just took it baseline to the other side of the rim. Great start for Texas Tech against those double teams.
Milos Uzan into the freshman, Chris Sinak. He elevates over the smaller defender and drops it in. And Sinak is getting better and better by the game. He has a ton of talent.
Well, really took his time on the mismatch against Petty down in the post to get to the middle. But Kelvin Sampson had said Chris Sinak couldn't do anything offensively when he got to Houston, but now has really expanded his game. He is a good player. Talk about a guy that can rebound, especially on the defensive end.
Houston's last game was last Sunday against Arizona State, and he had 18 points, 11 rebounds, 5 blocks. How about Flemings getting a friendly bounce on the road to give the Cougars the lead?
Kingston Flemings is better from 2 than he is from 3, but he is a good three-point shooter. It's not classic form on his shot, but man, that thing goes in at a high rate, especially mid-range.
Yeah, a little side spin on the jump shot, but as you say, he is a good shooter. 38% from beyond the arc. Oh boy, we have our first of likely several big collisions as Lawan Watts spun right into the immovable force that is JoJo Tugler.
JoJo Tugler, the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year last year. That was contact right into the jaw of Lawan Watts.
And Tugler's certainly in the running for National Defensive Player of the Year. Here's a guy you got to keep an eye on in Donovan Atwell, the senior, the transfer from UNC Greensboro. The lefty is a sharpshooter.
Just a breakdown defensively by Houston as Kingston Flemings with his second bucket. You cannot go under a screen on Donovan Atwell. The lefty can fire it. He's making almost 4 threes a game in Big 12 play.
And had 7 in their last game against Baylor. A corner three will go for Anderson, and both teams have come out firing.
You know, basketball is a game of decisions, and right now Texas Tech making quick decisions against a great defensive team.
Emmanuel Sharp, he'll elevate in the mid-range, left it a little short. Sinak tipped it away from Toppin. Sharp again. And bodies are flying underneath, which feels like something we're going to see the entire game.
Yeah, Lawan Watts just took JoJo Tugler down to the ground. He wasn't the only one. There are 3 bodies on the floor, but you better get used to that. As Kelvin Sampson likes to say, this ain't cheer camp, fellas.
And the officials are sending the players to their respective benches. They want to have a look to see if there was anything beyond a common foul here in that scrum.
Yeah, they got the foul on Lawan Watts for taking.
The player's under review for a flagrant foul.
For taking JoJo Tugler to the ground, but they weren't the only ones on the ground, so the referees, I think, very intelligently just taking a look to make sure that they don't need to upgrade something here.
Our officials today, Marcus Pettigrew, Michael Greenstein, Christopher Merlot. This is a difficult game. Well, tell me if you would agree with this. This is a difficult game to officiate simply because of how physical and how hard both teams play every possession.
Yeah, this game ought to be officiated by 3 Green Berets. But the question is that contact into the chest going to be upgraded? And it looks like it might be.
Michael Greenstein over to give us the official word. And it has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 for excessive contact on Lawan Watts. Marcus Pettigrew will give the word to the crowd.
After review, the previous play has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 personal foul on number 3 for Texas Tech. Houston will shoot 2 shots and retain possession, 20 seconds on the shot clock.
So a big call early in the game, 2 and the ball for Houston after the flagrant 1 on Watts. And Watts is kind of an undersized 4 on this Texas Tech team. He plays hard. He gives as good as he gets, but he's 6'6", and he's either going to have to deal with Sinak, who's 6'11", or a very physical and strong 6'8" JoJo Tugler.
And part of that was sending a message that we're going to be physical. And you want to have a hit first mentality. You just want to hit that hard when you hit first.
So Tugler, a 67% free throw shooter, goes to the line for 2. This Houston team is 17-1 on the season. Their only loss was in late November, a 3-point defeat against Tennessee. They have won 11 in a row, and as we mentioned off the top, Jay, 16 in a row on the road, and all of those have come in Big 12 play. It is really remarkable.
It's remarkable. You know, they're second in the country in scoring defense. They give up 60 points a game. They force close to 16 turnovers. Their turnover margin is one of the best in the country.
Sharp wide open. He missed one of those earlier, but he's not going to miss too many when he's that clear. 39% from 3 on the season.
He just came through as the second cutter through a little elevator screen, and you give him time. He gets that shot off so quickly.
That is his 262nd career 3 as a Cougar, second all time, and very likely to break Marcus Sasser's record in the next few weeks. Double team down low, and it is taken away from Josiah Mosley, who is making his season debut for Texas Tech. Has not played all season due to injury, a transfer from Villanova.
Tugler makes so many big-time defensive plays. His activity level is elite.
Kelvin Sampson will tell you he leads the country in making plays that don't show up in the box score, but boy, do the coaches appreciate it.
He's like an eraser on the defensive pencil for Houston. He makes up for so many defensive mistakes of others.
Toppin open now, 0 for 2 from 3-point range in this game, under 30% on the season.
He made especially back tips on offensive rebounds.
Anderson, no. Toppin, yes!
JT Toppin just muscled Chase McCarty.
Bench a long time with 2 fouls. Chris Sinak has 2 as well. Just checked back in now. How about Toppin? Came into the game a 49% free throw shooter on the season. He's now 6 for 7.
You need every point in this type of game.
Tied up at 71. How Texas Tech is playing lately. They've gotten healthier as well. But Petty has been playing great.
Well, he provides a ton of energy, but he can also knock down perimeter shots. I mean, we mentioned he had 20 points against Houston earlier this year and knocked down 5 threes. But he's a quick release shooter. He's better from 3 than he is from 2. But just another competitor that is unafraid on the floor.
And it is all tied up yet again. The double never really comes, and Toppin scores.
Boy, one-on-one in the post. Senak's a good defender, but he's not that good. Toppin's going to score if he gets to that right shoulder.
And that's the beauty of the Red Raiders offense. You pick your poison. Do you double them? But then you give up looks to good three-point shooters. And here come the Cougars down by 3.
Boy, big-time rebound by Senak.
Will it be Flemings again? It will.
He got hit.
They're calling Flemings for kicking out his leg. An offensive foul on Kingston Flemings.
Took that right leg and kicked it out a bit just as Christian Anderson was flying by. He got a piece of his hand as he was letting it go, but it's that leg kick that drew the offensive foul.
Watts will get it in. And Atwell goes flying out of bounds just to our left. And he'll go to the free throw line. What a battle this one has been.
Able to corral the ball. They need to get the ball down court quickly and just get a score. It doesn't have to be a 3.
Timeout, Kelvin Sampson. And here comes Flemings again. Spins. Off the glass and in for 42. And it's a 2-point game. Can they get it in?
You got a timeout if you can't, but they got a foul.
Yep.
Boy, Atwell has had a fabulous basketball game.
Made them both.
Anything in putting them in a position to win this game.
Flemings with as good a performance as any player's had in a game this year. The handoff to Sharp. A little strong. Flemings gets it back. He'll put it up. They can each add their own little personal touch. Uzan. Sharp in the corner, and that is going to do it. What a game here today in Lubbock. And the Texas Tech Red Raiders pick up their 12th consecutive home win, a perfect 11-0 this year. As hard fought a game as you will see, and in spite of an incredible performance by Kingston Flemings with 42 today, the Red Raiders are victorious 90-86.
A big time game with big time performances, and Kingston Flemings with his 42 points wasn't alone. Texas Tech showed a ton of resilience and toughness in that second half to win this game.
Time now for the player of the game, brought to you by Phillips 66, and we lean to the winners today, even with this outstanding performance by Flemings. How about JT Toppin, Jay, who had an incredible game as well?
So difficult to stop with his offensive rebounding, had a double-double yet again, and he served as a playmaker out of the middle of the floor when he would slip out of those middle ball screens. Just his toughness, his motor. We talked about him being relentless, and relentless is really hard to beat, and nobody could beat him today.
And he is standing by with Stormy.
JT, another hard-fought game with this Houston Cougars team. What did it take to get this done today?
Oh, yeah. All right, chill. All right, we just stayed together, and we knew we was going to win this game on defense. In the second half, we just made it sure that we played defense second half and rebound with 2 hands, and we executed.
I know there was some frustration after the loss at their place. This time around, why were things different?
We had our crib, and you see it's a sold-out arena right now. The fans are amazing, and we knew we had to get them back at our crib, so we executed.